What would you do if your entire love story was nothing but a game to someone else? A bet. A lie wrapped in luxury. Meet Grace, a humble cafe worker, and Nathan, a billionaire who placed a cruel wager. But what no one expected was how it would all end. Stay with us until the very end, because the twist will leave your heart racing and your soul touched. This is not just a story about betrayal and wealth. It's about finding real kindness in the most unexpected place. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe to Kindness Stories, because we bring you true emotions, every time. Grace Madison was no stranger to early mornings and blistered fingers. The tiny cafe tucked at the corner of Eastwood and Main was her sanctuary, even if it meant pouring coffee for grumpy executives and mopping floors long after her shift. Her dreams were modest: finish her evening classes in literature, maybe start a little bookstore cafe one day. Life hadn't been generous, but it had taught her resilience. Then he walked in. Nathan Blake, CEO of Blake Tech, heir to millions, the type of man who walked into a room and made it pause. He was the kind of man Grace had only seen in magazines: tailored suits, polished shoes, and a smile that could melt mirrors. But she didn't bat an eye. She took his order like she did with everyone else. One black coffee, no sugar. No smile. And that intrigued him. "Who is she?" Nathan asked his friend, Hunter, as they stepped out into his Bentley. "She's just a barista." "Chill, man. You've got models lined up for you." "No, she's interesting." Untouched by all this, Nathan's eyes lingered on the cafe window. That night, at an elite poker night, one of those conversations that ruin lives began. "I bet you $5,000 you can't make her fall for you," Hunter laughed, sipping his whiskey. Nathan raised an eyebrow. $5,000? Make it 50. The room roared with laughter. "You're insane," someone chuckled. But Nathan was already smirking. "I'll win her heart in 30 days. And when she asks me why I did it, I'll tell her the truth." "Cruel," someone whispered. "No," he corrected, curious. The next morning, Nathan returned. This time with a tip so large, Grace thought it was a mistake. "I'm Nathan," he said, extending a hand. She hesitated, wiping her hand on her apron. "Grace." That was the beginning. He came every morning. Asked about her life, her books, her dreams. He listened. No man had ever listened to Grace before. And slowly, her guard began to drop. He sent her flowers, just because. He bought all the seats at the cafe one morning just to sit with her. He waited outside when her shift ended, holding an umbrella in the rain. And Grace, sweet, innocent Grace, began to fall. One night, under the moonlight, on a bench outside the cafe, she said it. "I don't know what this is, Nathan, but it feels like the beginning of something beautiful." Nathan swallowed hard. Something in her voice cracked him a little. She was genuine. He wasn't used to that. He wanted to stop. But the bet, the money, the pride, he was too far in. The 30th day arrived. Grace was sitting across from him in a silk dress he had gifted her. He was taking her to an exclusive charity ball. That night, he was supposed to win the bet. "I have to tell you something," he said in the limo, struggling with his collar. "Me too," she said softly. "But you first." Nathan stared at her. I've never felt this before," he started. "You've changed me. And I hate that it began as a..." "What?" He looked away. "A bet." The silence was deafening. "A bet?" she repeated, her voice barely a whisper. He nodded. "It started as a game, but it stopped being one long ago." Grace's world spun. "You used me?" "No," he pleaded, "I swear to you, it was real. It became real. Please." She got out of the limo at the next red light. The rain had started again. He didn't chase her. He didn't know how. Grace stopped showing up at the cafe. Word had traveled fast, her roommate found out, her manager gave her time off, and even the regular customers looked away when her name was mentioned. Nathan tried calling. She blocked him. He sent letters. She tore them apart. But Grace wasn't bitter. She was broken. She wasn't crying over Nathan's betrayal, she was mourning her own blindness. She had believed someone like him could love someone like her. One evening, while volunteering at a local library, her attempt to rebuild, an envelope arrived with her name. Inside was a deed. To a small bookstore, downtown, already furnished. Your name is on the title. Yours always. Nathan. She threw it in the trash. But something inside her couldn't ignore the kindness hidden in that gesture. She didn't want his guilt money. But maybe, just maybe, she could take back her dreams without letting the past own her. So, Grace reopened the bookstore cafe, Grace and Chapters. The first few days were quiet. Then the crowd came. Curious, supportive, gentle. They had missed her. And slowly, she began to laugh again. Months passed. Nathan disappeared from headlines. Rumors swirled that he stepped down from his own company. That he was living in a small coastal town. Then, one winter morning, he walked into Grace and Chapters. He looked different. No suit. Just jeans and a worn-out jacket. His eyes searched the cafe like he didn't expect her to be there. Coffee? She asked from behind the counter. He turned. Grace. She gave him a small smile. Black. No sugar. Right? He nodded. They sat in silence for a long time. I didn't come to win you back, he said. I just wanted to say thank you, for changing me. I've spent these months learning who I was, and who I never want to be again. Grace looked at him. He wasn't the same man. You still think everything can be fixed with money? She asked. No, he replied softly. That's why I gave it up. She nodded. Then, almost shyly, she asked, You ever read any poetry? He smiled. Only if you'll read it with me. Sometimes, love begins with the wrong reasons, but if it's true, it doesn't end with them. Grace didn't fall for money. She didn't stay for guilt. She stayed, for change, for growth, for redemption. And that, is real kindness. If this story moved you, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to Kindness Stories. Because every heart deserves a second chance, and every soul deserves to be seen.